Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. We'll have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asore, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, and Rabbi Yaron Ruvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link right below this video to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I am doing. So today's part 2 of Zechariah 14. Are you ready for Zechariah 14? If you listened to last week's video, part 1, you got part of the chapter or perek. So now today I'm going to continue it, and I got this commentary from the Machzor, the Artscroll Machzor from Succos, and here's what it looks like, and this is the pocket edition. I will have a link below to Artscroll as well, so you can check out all they offer. So where I left off, let's see, I left off and we ended where I was talking about, we talked about what Hashem would actually be giving us. This is after the Mount Har Zaytim, the Mount Olive split, etc. So now it gets to a little bit of a interesting, I should say, part. Maybe some people don't want to hear this, but it may be a little, hard to swallow, so to speak. So again, I'm going to read it in Hebrew and English. There isn't that much left for this perek. So I'm up to, let's see. Zoti Hamagefa, if you know what Magefa is. Asher Yigov Hashem et kol hamim asher tzavu al Yushalayim hamek b'saro v'hu omeid al raglav ve'inav timakna. That's not a good thing. I'll tell you what it means soon. B'chorehen u'lishono timak b'fihem. V'ya bayom ahu tiyeh mehumat Hashem rabba v'hem ve'chaziku ish yad re'ehu v'al tayado al yad re'ehu. וגם יהודה תילחם בירושלים ואוסף חיל כל הגויים סביב זהב וכסף ובגדים לרוב מאוד. וכן תהיה מגפה לסוס, הפרד, הגמל והחמור וכל הבהמה אשר יהיה במחנות ההמה כמגפה הזאת. Okay, and I'm going to stop here. This is where the paragraph ends, and then I'll continue. So here is the English translation. This will be the plague which Hashem will smite all the nations that rallied against Yerushalayim. Their flesh will rot while they still stand erect. Their eyes will rot in their sockets, if you can only imagine that. And their tongue will rot in their mouths. On that day there will be a great confusion from Hashem. So when it talks about a great confusion, the commentary says, in addition to the physical maladies of the previous verse that I just mentioned, kind of gory, Hashem will cause the nations to be confused, attacking one another and being suspicious and fearful of everyone. It will be in every man for himself, as the verse continues, with people grasping, overpowering, and killing those whom they fear. So that's what's going to happen, the confusion, and people will start killing each other. So the great confusion from Hashem upon them. And when someone will seek to grasp his comrade's hand, he will overpower his comrade's hand. Even Yehuda will be forced to attack Yerushalayim. So when the commentary on this, even Yehuda, see, the invading nations will force the inhabitants of the Judean hills to join in the attack on Yerushalayim. But when the enemies are struck down by Hashem's plague, these Jews will take the spoils. The wealth of all the surrounding nations will be gathered in a great abundance of gold, silver, and garments. That's what you said in the commentary. Similar will be the plague against the horses, mules, camels, donkeys, and all the animals that will be in those camps, like the above plague. And I guess you could relate this, why this is here, and there's no commentary, but I'm just saying it from what I've learned from Chumash, from Rashi, like with Mitzrayim, like why the horses were also, killed, when they went into the sea. It's because they were used for something bad against the Jews. So I guess that's the same thing with these nations' animals. They were probably used for something bad. That's what I would just think. Okay, continuing on. V'haya kol hanotar mikol hagayim habayim al Yushalayim va'alu midei shana v'shana lishtachavot lamelech Hashem tzvakot lachog et chag hasukot. V'haya asher lo ya'aleh me'eit mishpachot haaretz el Yushalayim lishtachavot lamelech Hashem tzvakot v'lo aleihem yih hagasham. The imish pacham Mitzrayim lo ta'aleh v'lo va'a v'lo aleihem tiyeh magefa asher yigof Hashem et hagoyim asher lo ya'alu lachog et chag hasukot. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop. Continuing on just a little further, the paragraph. Zotia chatat Mitzrayim chatat kol goyim asher lo ya'alu lachog et chag hasukot. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop. Okay, so the translation. So, and it will happen that all who will be left from among all the nations that come upon Yerushalayim, meaning after the devastation, destruction, and the people kind of just melting on the streets, they will ascend every year to prostrate themselves before the King Hashem, Master of Legions, and to celebrate the festival of Sukkot. Hence, that's why this is read on Sukkot. When it says to celebrate on the festival of Sukkot, the defeat of Gog and its allies will be celebrated on Sukkot, the anniversary of its occurrence. Homiletically, the sages in Avodah Zarah 3a teach that at the advent of the Messianic age, the nations will claim that they too would have wanted to accept the Torah, right? Figure they want to get on the good side of Hashem and us, right? So Hashem will offer them the test of an easy mitzvah known as sukkah. They will rush to their roofs and build sukkahs, but will leave in anger once the midday sun makes it uncomfortable. So Hashem will bring the heat, and then they're going to not be happy about that. So thus sukkah is the test of loyalty to Hashem, and the nations will celebrate sukkahs as a symbol of their newfound allegiance to Hashem. Okay, continuing on. And any of the families of the land that will not ascend to Yerushalayim to prostrate themselves to the King Hashem, Master of Legions, the rain will not fall upon them. So when we talk about the rain, as punishment for their lack of allegiance to Hashem, no rain will fall on the lands. As for Egypt, which talks about in the next verse, which does not require rain because of the Nile's overflow, they will be punished by plague. So that will be a little different. So, and if the family of Egypt will not ascend, will not come, and the lack of rain does not affect them, they will suffer the plague with which Hashem will afflict the nations, because they will not have ascended to celebrate the festival of Sukkot. This will be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all the nations that will not ascend to celebrate the festival of Sukkot. So that's what they are obligated to do. Because they were spared, this is what they have to do to celebrate that holiday. So the last paragraph. Vayom hahu al mitzilot hasus kodesh laHashem. Vayah hasirot b'veit Hashem kimizrakim lifnei hamizbeach. Vayah kol sir b'Yerushalayim u'v'Yehuda kodesh laHashem tzavakot u'va'u kol hazovchim v'laklu mehem u'vishlu v'hem v'lo yihyeh knaani od b'veit Hashem tzavakot bayom hahu. So on that day, the bells on the horses will make a sanctification of Hashem. So when it talks about a sanctification of Hashem, the bells of decorated cavalry horses will be melted down and made into cauldrons for the temple. So it's going to be used for something holy as opposed to something unholy. They'll become cauldrons in the house of Hashem as numerous as the basins before the altar. Every cauldron in Yerushalayim and Yehuda will be sanctified to Hashem, Master of Legions, and all who bring offerings will come and take from them to cook in them. And traders will no longer be in the house of Hashem on that day. So when it talks about traders, will no longer be, there will be no need for the temple to purchase supplies and vessels from traders, because the most distinguished people of all nations will deem it their privilege to contribute their necessities to the temple. People will want to do that. So that's where this chapter or parak ends, about Zechariah 14. So as you can see, the second half kind of part 2, that paragraph that talks about the demise of the nations, it's not going to be a pretty spectacle to see. I personally don't want to see it. I can only imagine it. It's not going to be very pleasant. But if we do what's right, hopefully that won't happen. But again, what will happen in the end is that all the nations will now want to be part of, well, they're not going to be Jews, but they'll want to participate and share what they have, because they realize that this is what they need to do, sanctify Hashem and do what they can, and because they realize that the Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel, is the holy nation, and that they don't have any other obligation. Basically, once Mashiach comes, that's all they can do is be serving us, to serve Hashem in the right way. And I hope that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis Hamikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.